My name is Andréa Springer, and I am the acting managing director at World Design Organization. And it's so good to have you join us in this information session today. I believe over the next hour, we are going to be hearing a little bit more about a really exciting new opportunity, an initiative, a component of the WDC 2026 calendar of events, which, as we have just momentarily confirmed, is really just a few days away before opening its doors to the international community. So we're really very excited to have you join in this session and hopefully over the course of the next hour or so, get to hear a little bit more about this project. I think my feeling is that, we are amongst family and friends here within the WDO community. So I won't really go in too deep about who WDO is as an organization. However, I will take this opportunity to maybe just, highlight a small bridge that is actually quite relevant to the initiative that we're going to talk about, which is that in its composition, WDO is really so unique in the sense that we regroup both professional and promotional organizations, public and private institutions, as well as academic institutions, which ultimately form the largest member pillar for WDO. So much of our work throughout the decades has really been about finding ways, new ways, for these various voices to be heard. And of course, as we look to our mission around design for a better world, so much of this work is really geared towards the next generation of designers in mind. We've come to understand over the course of the years that design is really a tool for social progress, for social transformation, and for addressing large problems in what we know can be a very complex world. So we're delighted to be able to support programming such as the one that we're going to be hearing about today that not only bridges the gap between academia and industry, but also creates these unique opportunities to showcase solutions for the betterment of our future. The WDC Campus initiative, we hope, is going to be able to address both those objectives. And as we look to 2026 and the WDC program, I really strongly encourage and hope that our WDO members get involved in this initiative because it creates a unique opportunity to connect with the next generation of designers whose creativity and innovation are going to be what's shaping some really bold responses to some of our most global challenges. We're going to be hearing a little bit more in a few moments from Roland Lambrette, who is a co-founder and a backbone to the WDC 2026 program, who's going to talk to us a little bit more about the vision for the campus and how it aligns to WDO's own vision to advance design for a better world. So without further ado, I would, Roland, transfer the microphone over to you and allow you to take us through this informative journey.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrea. And hello to everybody I see here on the screen. Thank you very much for taking some time to get involved and get informed about what we are planning to do in 2026. Andrea we just talked about it. She was our first, together with Eric, they both gave us the primary information how to develop and organize and structure this project. So now we have 20 some days left until it all begins. Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Andrea. You are a very big help and guide for us. This meeting today is an invitation. It's an invitation to next year to Frankfurt RheinMain as a World Design Capital in 2026, but especially to the WDC campus. And of course, within 60 minutes, it's not possible to cover 365 days of program. So you see the link to our website, wdc2026.org. I can only encourage you to use this as a source of information because it's constantly developing. There are more things happening. And at the end of this meeting, Luzi will give you an overview over the whole year. So next, okay, this is our agenda for today. Um, After next will the state of Hesse be represented by Professor Bernd Kracke and give a short introduction from their side, and then we will explain the campus, the exhibition, the program, and our content approach. And after that, we will talk with you and show you how you could get involved in this program. And after that, as I said, Luzi will guide us through the WDC 2026 all-year program, and then we have enough time for your questions and our answers. Today, speaking to you will Bernd Kracke, of course, and after that, I explain more what the exhibition in the campus is about. Georg will talk about the program, and Greta, as a student, as a design student who is part of our team, will give us her perspective on what we are planning. Yeah, and Luzi will show us what else is happening. So Bernd, I hand over to you in a sec. Bernd Kracke has been president of HFG Offenbach, which is one of the leading design schools in Germany or internationally as well. It is HFG Offenbach is in the tradition from Bauhaus over Ulm to Offenbach. The idea of design developed through these schools, and it is one of the major institutions. And Bernd was 18 years president of HFG Offenbach and is now consultant, design strategy consultant to the state of Hessen. And he has some welcoming words from you, Bernd. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Roland. Thank you very much, Andréa. Hello, everybody on screen all over the world. I'm really happy to be with you. And I would like to welcome you as well to the WDO webinar to explore the WDC 2026 World Design Campus, as Roland and Andréa already mentioned. As I said, and as Roland said, I've been the president of the University of Art and Design in Offenbach for quite a time. So I'm not a politician by heart, but I'm an artist and designer. So I'm very much involved with the issue that will be discussed here today. The World Design Capital 2026 in Frankfurt RheinMain coincides with the 80th anniversary of the state of Hessen, which is a great opportunity to celebrate both events. Within the framework of WDC 2026, the WDC World Campus is one of its most significant signature projects. For the first time, universities from diverse disciplines, including design, agriculture, medicine, and sociology, are engaging in a truly multidisciplinary collaboration with design. We call this initiative the Showcase of Universities. It features a major exhibition along with 17 public dialogue workshops. The WDC campus will be hosted by one of the region's most renowned institutions, the Museum of Applied Art, Frankfurt, built by the great Richard Meyer. As the former and longtime president, as I mentioned before, I see this as a major step forward. Both the exhibition and the day-long workshops will embed design more deeply into society, addressing themes such as health, work, education, consumption, mobility, and culture. I'm very excited and thrilled that the World Design Organization has chosen Frankfurt and the Rhine-Main region as the World Design Capital 2026. I warmly invite all WDO members to join us next year and especially to experience the WDC 2026 World Design Campus. So I wish you a very nice meeting tonight and a wonderful WDC 2026 in 29 days, as Roland just introduced to us. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Bernd. Thank you for taking time for us and welcoming our international guests as well as the local universities. I see some colleagues from out of our area participating, which is great. So, what is this campus? What is it all about? What we want to introduce to the broad public, to the international attention, to all visitors is what the next generations of young designers also and scientists, what they work on and what their concern is. We show young talents at work, and we will the whole campus builds on the projects, on their projects, on the projects of students and graduates, and it will become, for its given time, a laboratory, a forum for discussion, and a festival at the same time. It will show the knowledge, the skills, and especially the commitment of this current generation. And it will offer society, politics, culture, and insights into what young people, young designers, young scientists think of and what is important to them. So it's as Bernd said, it's a showcase for the universities, but also for startups. What I think is especially interesting is the time at the end of studies and the beginning of becoming part of business, economy, industry. It is the moment where the values and the personal identity can develop and sort of apply the dreams and the visions students have. So it is what we plan with this campus is a much wider understanding of design as is used many ways in the public discussion. We talk about art and architecture, of course, but also sciences, social sciences, humanities, natural sciences, engineering, and so on. So we want to connect and show how much design and all other disciplines are connected and what amazing outcomes there are. The campus is a key project for our future, and we want to especially open our doors to people who are not so acquainted with what is going on in design schools and universities on one hand, and on the other hand, it is also important that the students and the teachers of all these institutions get in a deeper exchange with the public. We all know at the moment how endangered democratic societies are. And maybe politics, maybe media have a problem at this time to create an optimistic vision. Many parties and many political developments are based on dystopian thoughts. And we want to build a counterpart in vision and optimism. That's why we, I think in 2017 or 18, Matthias Wagner-Carr created this claim, Design for Democracy, Atmospheres for a Better Life. And at that time, we did not know, we couldn't know how the world would develop. And year by year, and now, every month, this claim becomes more important, which is not good news in one way, but it's good news in the other way that we are completely up to date with what we are planning to do. So the exhibition will show what is happening in the university, and it will showcase groundbreaking exhibits and ideas from students and from startups. We think we will have around 150 to 200 projects or objects representing what we can do in all parts of our everyday life to transform into a society that will be sustainable and also will have a better quality of living together. Some of these projects have already won awards. Others are developed right now. Many of the universities who are participating started projects in the winter term, 25-26, or will start projects in the summer term. And then at the end of the summer term, 26, they will become part of the exhibition. Here you see the Here you see the participating universities in the Frankfurt RheinMain area. These are further institutions and universities in national basis. And here you see all these universities have international partners. Here in the green fields, you see some of the international participants. And this is one part of our invitation to all of you now listening. We are open and we are interested in your work. And we will later show you the content structure of the exhibition and the program. If you want to participate and if you want to show what is happening in your institution, let's get in touch and let's think about it, because as we are proudly World Design Capital, of course, we want to be a showcase for the world. So here you see our fields of action. And the idea behind that is that we want to show how design visions and design concepts, design projects affect our everyday life. We don't want to be too academic, and we don't want to be sort of in the distance to the public. We want to open to the broad public and show them how easy it is and how much fun it is to change things and to transform into different habits and different values and different habits. So this is this is the way we select projects for this exhibition. We have a fantastic location, and here you will see some of a house with a footprint of a car, a charging station that comes to the car and not the car to the charging station. We see ideas for the health system. How can we be more responsible ourselves for our bodies instead of running to doctors all the time? Here we see growing seaweed as a construction material, or medical instruments that are improved, or a journey through the human cell in a VR application, or how does plastic already can be found in embryos, and how can we get away from this danger, or how can barge be used as a material to build furniture, and so on. This is just to give you a little idea of the scope of projects we are showing. So the exhibition is sort of based on questions, asking these everyday questions and projecting them into the future. So we sort of express the questions that the people have. They get so many informations about what does not work anymore and how dangerous it is and how the climate changes and how the train doesn't work in Germany and how we get so many negative informations and people ask, well, how can we do better? And this exhibition will pick up on that. So I will end with a description of our location. It is the Museum of Applied Art, a Richard Meyer building. It was built in the 80s. And it is a perfect space for exhibitions because it keeps itself as a neutral platform. It has lots of glass and light. It is a neutral white building, and it has huge open levels. So we are free to use the space and structure it according to these fields of action. Here you see where the museum is located. Frankfurt is on the River of Main, located, or it's divided by the river, and the river bank is actually a chain of pearls. There are 17 museums in one line. There's Museum of Architecture and Communication and Moving Image and Sculpture and the Jewish Museum and so on. So, and without any exaggeration, along this riverbank in the summertime, there are millions of visitors. So we are very close to the public. We are in the center of the city of Frankfurt, and we have a very attractive place to visit. So whoever exhibits there has a guaranteed touch to the public. Here you see the floor plan, and the red fields is the buildings, and the green part is the park around the museum. So we have the opportunity to do outdoor exhibits. We can show architectural one-to-one models or pavilions. We will have, I know, for example, there is a student group picking up on the famous Frankfurt kitchen, and there will be an outdoor version of the Frankfurt kitchen from the University of Mainz and so on. So we can sort of connect the inside and the outside and the environment up there where Main is written. It's the river. So of course, it's also an invitation for evening parties and a place to be, a place to feel a bit of what is to come. Already today, this is a photograph from last week. Today, the building is branded as the hub of the World Design Capital. And so people get to know, okay, this is it. This is where we have to go. So we are already in the focus, and the media is picking up on it already. We had a projection in summertime in the evenings to make clear this is the place to be. And there was a huge party with 1.3 million visitors. So the news is spread already. And this is what I try to say. Pick up on the topics if you want to show, if you want to participate, also if you want to get attention for your institution. We invite you to get in touch with us. In the end, you will see our contact points and contact data. So thanks so far for your attention. And I hand over to Greta, as I said, a design student who is consulting and watching us from her perspective. Go ahead, Greta.
So hello, thank you, Roland. As I already said, or as Roland already said, I'm a design student from Hildesheim, and I'm currently doing my 6-month internship here in Frankfurt at the World Design Capital, which I'm very glad for. And Roland asked me to say a little bit about my opinion about this whole project. So the opportunity that the campus gives us as students is really great, in my opinion. In a brainstorming session that I organized with students about the exhibition, it became very, very clear that their greatest wish is really to be heard. And of course, it's also my wish. I mean, it's about our future, and the exhibition and the program at the museum offers us the right stage to present our ideas for the future. The stage we need to be seen and heard, in my opinion. The trust and control that is given to us and me as students in this project is very important for expressing ourselves in today's world. So all in all, I think it's a very big opportunity for us as students, and I really like being a part of it. So yeah, thank you for having me and have like my 2 minutes of presentation. Yeah.
Well, yeah, thank you, Greta.
No problem.
I think it's good to know, and there is more to be discussed with you and your generation. And I'm very glad that you bring in your perspective. Now we look at the program. We look at the program which is accompanying the exhibition, and Georg-Christof Bertsch, he is one of the leading design communicators in Germany, and he set up a podcast series which is running now for quite some time, and they have more than 250 episodes with basically everybody who has to say something relevant about design. It is a podcast series which is very much observed by the design and academic community here in Germany. And we could win him to be the program and content director for the campus. So please, Georg, go ahead and let us know what you're planning.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you very, very much for this introduction. What I would like to say is, let's say, getting back to Greta, we are working for the students and for universities, the academic people, in order to bring them into the public life. And so you've got these different fields of activity, like building and living, sports, consumption, health, which kind of underlay what we're doing. So you'll see it later, what this means. But now you can say that these are 10 fields which mean a lot. So this is, let's say, the most simple we could make it. The structure, you have the universities, and in the center, you've got this main exhibition at the Museum Angewandte Kunst, which Roland already presented to us. This runs from the 3rd of July to the 9th of August. Along with that, and during a period which starts a little bit earlier, the 15th of April until the 5th of August, you've got 17 so-called dialogue workshops. These dialogue workshops, to which you are very warmly welcomed, offer either, let's say, a lecture or a panel or a workshop or an excursion all together. So you can have, if you do a workshop on, as we have with the Frankfurt Zoo, for example, we will have an exhibition. Part of the activity will be in the zoo, or part of the activity will be in a university for winery and agriculture. This is the basic structure. So next, please. And these dialogue workshops are all hosted by really outstanding individuals from different fields, not necessarily from the academics, or preferably not from the academics, but working together with academic, let's say, students and teachers and professors in order to develop solutions for really complex tasks, which are usually not touched. So you're going to see that right now. I'll give you some examples. There, we had to break 10 fields of action a little bit up because there were other aspects like justice, finance, also gender, which are relevant and which were not featured in the, let's say, overall 10 fields of actions which the WDC fosters. So this is a little bit more granular, but you won't see it as the general public won't see it. It's only in the background. So next, please. just give you 3 examples what this can be. This is Markus Maas. He's the director of the costume workshops with 120 employees of the Frankfurt Theater and Opera. And he came to us and said, I would like to create a jacket which symbolizes democracy. Okay, very cool thing. And then in order to make it fitting to the program, we asked Ilona Kötter, who is an academic, professor for fashion, to work together. And this worked from the very first moment. The second is another topic which is usually not addressed, helping the suffering in detention centers or other correction institutions by design, for example, with more nicer colors, or they help to prevent the heat in the summer, or translating texts to foreign languages. And sorry, one thing to say here with June Kindle, and she is a social pedagogue who's working in a prison actually, and she's going to run this workshop. So the last one, in order to give you an impression, is Christoph Grünberger is one of the most prominent AI artists in Germany, Middle Central Europe, and he's also the editor of AI Art magazine. And we convinced him to do a dialogue workshop on this topic, where the machine and the designer build a team, or where they really merge. And there's no one who could do that better than him. And so we're going to have a workshop with him, a lecture, a panel, and maybe also an excursion to an agency with a specific setup of machines. So these are 3 examples. And in all of those workshops, you can cooperate with us. Just tell us, and you get on the list. And then there's one last thing that is very important to us. This is the so-called design laboratories, which is nothing else but the exchange of students. Let's say a group of students, law students, for example, visit design students. Nothing else. It's like they tell each other what they're doing. Or medical students visit, let's say, engineering students or robotics students. And by starting these design laboratories, something new here in the region, we hope to spark transdisciplinary work, because we know that transdisciplinary work is prone to really produce innovation. So this is what I can contribute here from the content and program side. And then coming to the dates, we start, as I said, in April with the dialogue workshops. Then we start in July with the exhibition, the campus. And all of those will run parallelly, but the culmination will be the WDC Campus Festival from 3rd of July to 5th of July. This is the hottest place, the hottest time to be there in order, if you want to plan something. Well, that's it.
Well, thank you, Georg. And because this question came up in the chat already, when should we come? You see the WDC Campus Festival in the beginning of July. This is a very safe spot in the program because there will be a lot going on. But of course, if you focus on certain issues and themes in the program, there may be other dates appropriate. So that's what we talk about later. But now, in order to get the complete overview of what's happening within the WDC program in 2026, I would like to introduce Luzi Groß. She's in charge in the WDC team for cooperations and universities. And she has a perfect overview over the endless activities happening at the same time. Go ahead, Luzi.
Hi, thank you, Roland, for the introduction. Thank you, Andréa. Thank you, WDO, for the invitation. I'm super glad to be here. And I will give you a very brief introduction to our program next year. I've got a few sheets, so please put the next and the next. This is just to give you an impression. That's the workshop vehicle we used. Yeah, stop. Some of you might already know, But for everybody all else, very briefly, our program draws on 3 sources. First, events that we plan and implement ourselves, so-called signature events. Then the regional open call projects by citizens, institutions, and associations. And then highlights in collaboration with partners such as museums, universities, foundations, and companies. Next, please. The events of next year will take place across the entire region. We already saw this a little bit in the presentation of the campus team, from Frankfurt to Darmstadt and from Wiesbaden to Offenbach. So alongside the river sides. This regional diversity is one of our strengths, we believe. Cities, municipalities, institutions, associations, and citizens all play an active role in the creation of the program. So participation is key. Projects are created with society and for society. And together the region presents itself as an open international platform for creativity. So that's the vision, at least. Next, please. And that's also the reason why we launched an open call in 2024, in which over 1,200 ideas came to us, and through which we now gained 400 projects who became part of our inner program. Those 400 projects are expected to deliver around 2,000 events in next year. Next. So please keep in mind that these 400 projects are the heart of the program. So they form the foundation of next year's Design for Democracy movement, let's say, a program from citizens for citizens. Next. And a program developed together with strong partners such as institutions and universities. I already said it. You find the first list of overview here. Next, please. But now I would like to briefly talk about our signature events and to provide a structure for the several hundred projects which will take place next year. A set of thematic clusters has been created. You can screen them here. Here's a brief overview. So key topics that emerge are, for example, kinds of living spaces and how we evolve them. In German, it's this very nice word Lebensräume. Education and research approaches, economy and innovation, participation, as I already said, as well as projects and programs that engage with the political sphere. And projects across all topics, of course, take place throughout the year, but the clusters are meant to guide orientation and help focus attention within this wider range of activities. And also our signature events feed into this broader schedule, if you want to say like this layout of the year. So the grand opening, which is really close now, on January 16th in Darmstadt, brings together people from politics, business, culture, and civil society, and is a signal, like a shared statement for openness, diversity, and international collaboration through design. And it will provide a preview and introduction to the following program next year. Next, please. So from 24th January on, the WDC, like WDC Hub at the Museum Angewandte Kunst here in Frankfurt, which you already have been introduced to, will be the central meeting point for the year, providing information about the program and projects for the engaged public, but as well also be a meeting point for all our collaborators. And the hub will serve as the organizational headquarters, material distribution point, and place for all sorts of exchange. And with the official opening of WDC 2026, the Museum Angewandte Kunst will also showcase several exhibitions on design for democracy. So their whole exhibition year, also apart from the hub and the campus, will mostly focus on our topics. Next, please. So the WDC Pavilion is the mobile heart of Frankfurt RheinMain and will be sustainably built and modular built by Construct Lab, which is a collective from Berlin. And the pavilion will travel through the region from April to September, so almost a whole year, stopping at 5 to 7 locations, from vibrant city squares to cultural landmarks, and will involve the local community also with their program at site. Next, please. Then maybe also especially interesting to you, in June 2026, the entire Frankfurt Rhine-Main region will be then transformed into a hub, not only the museum, from Frankfurt to Darmstadt, also to Hanau, Offenbach, and Wiesbaden, right down to also smaller towns and communities. And every location can become a stage, like studios, shops, workshops, museums, or backyards. And the result is an open, or hopefully an open, decentralized festival that showcases the region's creativity and connects people, places, and ideas. There's also different formats like open doors, open spaces, open necks, and open minds, which all like focus on different groups to get involved. About the campus, you already heard. I still have it in there. Then the Module Festival takes place in August, uniting music and visual arts in an interdisciplinary format and free of entrance to everybody in the region. The festival showcases artists whose work equally blends both disciplines and has a significant influence on pop culture also. And it will take place in a very vibrant community. It's like a cultural campus here in Frankfurt that is like a developing area, also for cultural use. Next, please. During the 3-day World Design Policy Days, the World Design Conference 2026 will serve as a global meeting place for design, politics, and science to establish design as a catalyst for social and political challenges. Also, this conference will take place within the whole region from November 11th to 14th. And is divided into the thematic areas of politics, administration, and attitude. And the highlight is the closing assembly in Frankfurt's Paulskirche, which initiates dialogue with regional politicians. That's the goal. There, the international network of World Design Capital will also meet with key regional players, and the WDC title will be handed over to the next World Design Capital, which is Busan in South Korea, in a festive convocation ceremony. Next, please. Yes, so I have summarized the dates for you again. We can also show you the slide later on. And as these are only the signature events, so really like the big main productions we do ourselves, please be sure to also visit the website. Roland already mentioned it, because at the moment it's really updated, it's being updated hourly. And you already have hundreds of more events with the concrete dates online. Next, please. So this is the head of communication contact for you. If you need guidance through the program or plan a visit, you are very welcome to contact Christina and Caroline from our communication team. They're gonna be happy to assist you. Yeah, hope to see you next year.
Yes, thank you, Luzi. We all hope to see you next year. These again are our contacts, including Elisabeth Budde, who is the project manager for the campus. And thank you very much for your attention and your time. And now we are ready for your questions.
For the Q&A. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Roland. Hello, everyone. My name is Dorothée Bollard. I'm WDO's Community Engagement Officer, so it's always very good to see WDO members on the call. And to those newer to WDO, I will be pleased to provide you with information in the chat around WDO membership. But without further ado, we'll move on to the questions section now. So we've had a few that have come through, and I will throw them out to the group. So the first question, and I think it's for you, Georg. Can students participate on the campus dialogue workshops virtually?
I don't think so, because this is really meant to be it's like being together there. In some cases, yes. It depends on the format. Like if there's a recorded lecture, this will be available. But let's say within workshops, it's going to be very hard for us to really provide that. But we can inform you at a later stage of the development of the project which dialogue workshop is going to be recorded. And so then they can obviously participate and also bring in their positions, their ideas, or whatever. They could, for example, send things that they're working on and to discuss it, let's say, with individual counterparts, professors or students or these specialists. This is something that I can offer. And I know that this will work. And then you can have a Zoom conference on this issue.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Is there a maximum group size for participating schools? So those who are interested in bringing groups, is there a maximum size?
Yeah, this depends also on the topic. We have some which are restricted to 15. For example, a workshop with Markus Weisbeck from Bauhaus University, because otherwise it won't work. And we have others that can easily say accept or invite 50 or 60. So we will have an auditorium, let's say for lectures, for example, with about 150, 200 chairs. But let's say really working in the workshop, that's a little bit different. So.
Thank you. Are there entrance fees for any of the events mentioned today?
No.
Okay, so everything is free. That's great.
So our general policy, not to ask for entrance fees.
Okay. And is there any funding available for students who would like to participate from abroad? Are there any grants that they could tap into or access?
This is something that we can't, from the campus, we can't answer because it's a general topic for WDC. I think that it might be possible in some cases. Luzi, what do you know about that?
Well, I also think you have answers to that, because the campus is like the format to invite students. Of course, we are super open and would be happy to welcome groups of students, but I think it's really depending on what the interests are. When are they planning to come to Frankfurt and the Rhine-Main region? Because there's like so much going on. I think it would be easier to understand who's coming and what are the interest fields, and then really to plan like a program of interesting projects that might happen, because we do also have so much going on in the public within the city and yeah, so there's like not a specific check-in point where students mainly should be. I'm afraid I can't.
As far as I know, I don't know whether that's right. Some general embassies, like the Dutch one and the Swiss one, are providing some funding for students, but this is something that is going to develop. Let's say, are going to speed up within the next, let's say, some weeks, because there is also high interest of some of the participants and also some of our partners to present themselves. So the sponsoring topic is something that's hot. We're really working on it in very big contexts right now. So this might help us to offer something in this direction. But at the moment, I think we can't, as WDC campus, we can't offer it.
Yeah, may I add something to that? I think the best way would be to let us know who is interested in what and when. And for example, we have with the president of WDO, I had the honor to visit the embassy of India in Frankfurt. who is very interested to connect with our topics and our people. So if there is a group, and I see there is in the chat Mr. Srinrat from RV University in India, if there is a certain occasion and a certain interest, then we could try to connect these people.
This is also.
I'm careful because we don't know what will happen to us, and maybe it will be overwhelming. But so far, we will try to support every interest you mentioned to us.
This is talking about India and Germany. The Indo-German Chamber of Commerce has become more and more active in the last years. I think 5 or 6 years ago, it was a very small group. Now it's much bigger, so it's growing. Mm-hmm. And the interest, the German interest in India and the Indian interest in Germany is obviously growing. So this might be also a way through the Chamber of Commerce to direct that. But I would follow Roland's argumentation. We need to know who, and then we can probably help.
We try.
Yeah, we try.
And I think a question related to that, and maybe a similar answer, is there a possibility to use the Erasmus Plus program for financing student visits?
Well, from our side, if somebody shows interest, from our side, we can provide all official documents that this is a valid institution. We have a very strong support by the universities. I'm not sure how it works with Erasmus, what they need to approve an application. But if there is something needed from our side, we are happy to provide that.
Right, fantastic.
Andréa?
Yes, thank you, Georg. A quick question, and this is perhaps to Dorothy and Roland together. I didn't hear in the process to talk a little bit about, in fact, what is that process to, showcase or to share expressions of interest? And is there a form? Is there a deadline? Because as we're saying, to make all of these make all of these plans, we do have to have, I assume, like a cutoff period. So maybe we could, or Georg, talk to us a little bit more about the more pragmatic side with regards to the process.
Well, this is, let me say something first. So this is, as we just said, we need to know who wants to participate or who would like to come. And then also, as Roland said, we are very pragmatic. So we can offer some form or whatever, but the form is not what it's all about. It's the process, and the process is that in terms of manpower, we as WDC campus couldn't manage that at the moment. Maybe it's different in some months, but now we are really working day and night, and but it's going to be something that we have been discussing already.
Yes.
Roland?
Yes. Well, if we were on an airplane, the crew would say, "Please make yourself known to the crew." So please make yourself known. This is why we presented our contact addresses, and we will react immediately if you show interest to exhibit something, to participate in our program, to be part of the campus. But this is our first invitation, and we have to find out how your interests are.
And Roland, you brought up a really good point. I'm so sorry, Dorothy. In that the program is quite flexible, as you mentioned. You can participate in workshops, or you can show your interest in participating in the exhibition. So hopefully, especially to our WDO members, we'll be able to put together a comprehensive package to help you get those names.
Yes, absolutely. And only to underline this. Of the 17 dialogue workshops, all of those are, let's say, fixed. We're going to do them, so it's clear with the people involved. But only 2 of them are already scheduled, and so this is something that's really going on right now. And as soon as we have that, we're going to send it to you. That's no question.
I mean, this is such a great opportunity for international exposure if you're thinking about this, for, cross transdisciplinary collaboration. Really, I think the highlight for me is that, and as you all mentioned in your presentation, this is really a living laboratory. So, it's so unique. It's so exciting. Hopefully, it's a good problem to have that you will have many interested, and I really put that out into the universe. Dorothy, I leave it to you, looking at the time for closing remarks.
Yeah. So, in actual fact, we'll hand over to Roland to close. And I know we did have one last question, which was around the timing. So, Roland, maybe you would like to just highlight that again, and I'll hand back over to you. Thank you, everyone.
Yes. So the safest time where the most will be happening and the program and the exhibition will come together is the festival time, which is between starting at the 3rd of July. And the next days, 3rd, 4th, 5th, is the core time. And after this, the exhibition will last until the 9th of August. So if you want to make it safe, this is the time. But I would really recommend to look into the WDC program, and to look into our program. If you, for example, are focused on a topic like health, we have a certain time slot for everything which is connected to health. So maybe you want to come at that time, or if I've seen Peter Eckhart is here and listening. If you are into mobility, we have another time slot for issues connected to mobility. So maybe we find solutions, timings where these things come for you together. But apart from that, the safe time, if you want to see basically everything going on, that is in the beginning of July.
And I would go back to one thing, the kind of how students can be helped in their questions. So we do have these dialogue workshops, and we also do have 10 experts, for example, the head of a hospital, or a psychiatric researcher, or the two editors-in-chief of a political magazine on ecological consumption, and so on and so on. So we've got these people, and they also, let's say, when students address topics to us, we can ask our experts. This is something that, because it's so complex, I didn't really present it here in this presentation, but this is something that's really a service, a high-level service to students who participate.
Well, time is 17:59, and I know WDO is very accurate in timings.
Yeah, that's true.
So please make use of our address. Get in touch with us, and we will, if there is a lot of communication, we will point out a special person to be your contact partner and to answer all your questions and help you organizing things. First step is make yourself known to the crew.
Thank you. Thank you to everyone who participated. Thank you, Roland, Luzi, Georg, Greta, for fantastic presentations. So I just wanted to highlight that there is another meeting following this. So if you are not on that meeting, then we would ask that you please do leave the Zoom. But also, if there are questions from WDO members, please feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to facilitate those introductions or provide you with the correct person to contact. So thank you very much again for jumping on.
And thank you, Dorothy and Natalie, for organizing all this. And Andréa, of course, it's a pleasure to work with WDO and your team. Thank you.